Welcome to the Dad, Coffee, and Kids podcast, where caffeine-powered dads look to level up as fathers. We talk about life as a dad with young kids while managing work, family, and finances. That said, grab another cup, and I'll see you on the other side. Welcome back to another episode of the Dad, Coffee, and Kids podcast. How many of you walk into your living room or playroom each day? You stop, look around, and think, how the hell did this happen? And in front of you is an endless supply of toys. Old toys, new toys, and literally everything in between. Now, you can find effective storage solutions, right? You can find shelving units, you can get cabinets for the toys, but it still doesn't fix the situation and fact that there are just simply too many toys in your house. So what do we do? Well, we've been actually doing something since day one that has helped us to not accumulate an insane amount of toys. In my opinion, we still have a lot, more than I would like to admit, more than I would like to have in our household. But having seen other families, and not to compare, but having seen other families, we don't have nearly as many toys in our house as I've seen in other households. Okay, so because of that, what I'm going to share today, I believe you can start implementing today as well, even if you have accumulated toys over X amount of years. Okay, it is something that you can start implementing and working towards. And to help manage your kids' toys, by helping manage your kids' toys, you'll help them enjoy their toys more, and they'll actually have deeper playful connections when they are playing and it's playtime. And, you know, if you have multiple kids, they're playing with each other, they will appreciate the toys even more. Okay. And it will also lessen toy consumption, meaning you won't be buying as many toys. There won't be the need to buy as many toys, right? I think a lot of reasons why parents and family members buy so many toys is because their kids get bored of the old toys. And that all stems from just too many options. They have too many options. They can play with one toy for 5 minutes or less, throw it down and grab another. And this goes on and on and on. And eventually those older toys just get weeded out and they no longer get played with. Okay. And finally, what we're going to talk about implementing, it will also teach your kids valuable lessons along the way, relating to sharing and also negotiating. So let's dive into really exactly what we did with our kids. So from day one, we really knew that we did not want to be the house that had toys just in every inch and corner of the house. No matter where you stepped, you were stepping on a toy, and worse off, a lot of those toys weren't even used anymore. Rather, they were just thrown or just got lost in the shuffle, but your kids are no longer interested in them. And while I still feel like our home is like that today at times, you know, after a long few hours of play or towards the end of the evening, I feel we do have a lot of toys laying around. It's really not that much though. And here's why. So what we do is at any given point in time, in our playroom is our living room upstairs. Okay. That's where the kids play. And at any given point in time, we only have about 8, 10, maybe 12 toys for them. That might, depending on what your playroom looks like, that may seem like nothing. That to some, that might seem like a lot. I'm willing to bet for many, it seems like that's not a lot at all. 8 toys, 10 toys, 12 toys. But keep in mind, this will include, I have 2 boys. So this may include a toy truck, a stuffed animal, a hockey net, hockey sticks, a soccer ball, one of the little toy basketball hoops. So this is all included in that number, right? We have different sets of blocks. So each set of blocks is a toy. So we'll only have one set of blocks at a time. And what this does is there's minimal options and selections to choose from when my kids want to play. And what that allows is when they do start playing, they play with these toys for a longer period of time. They get deeper into their playtime. They're thinking about it. They're problem solving. They're building. They're not going to take out a toy, bang it against the couch a few times, throw it against the window, and then look for something else because there isn't something else. There's only a handful of toys. And with two of them, right there off the bat, their options are limited. To some, this might sound crazy. And it's like, well, you're no fun. Your kids don't have fun. They actually love it because I'll tell you why. This is where the fun part comes in. So over time, your kids will start to realize, and yes, they will naturally phase out and maybe want something else. And at that point, that's where the cool opportunity comes for the parents. So you can now surprise, if you're listening if you're not watching the video, I did air quotes, you can surprise them and get them a new toy. And this new toy is a recycled toy that you had put in the basement or storage or wherever away from them so they can't play. And you can have a consistent flow of new toys, air quotes, new toys coming out. Okay. So what this looks like for us is we'll have 10 toys out in the living room, and we notice, I don't know, let's say a garbage truck and one of those big light up fire trucks. They're not being used that often. So what we'll do is we'll do one of two things. We will either, maybe at nighttime when the kids are sleeping, we will bring those two toys downstairs and we'll grab two new ones and we'll just place them with their stuff. And whenever we do something like that, both of my boys always, the next morning, they always go right to those new toys. They know exactly what's out of place and they know exactly what wasn't there the night before. They're super surprised. They're super happy. They love it. They play with it. All is good. Okay, so that's one option that happens. The second is we will actually ask them, or now, since they know the routine, they will ask to make a trade. And the trading is where they will pick a toy, or two or three, or however many, and we will swap it out, make a trade with a toy in the basement, or a new toy. And my oldest is 3.5 now. So he pretty much knows all the toys in the basement at this point. So if he wants something, like let's say, I mentioned a hockey net earlier. Let's say the hockey net's in the basement and he wants it. And he'll ask, he'll be like, Daddy, can I play with the hockey net? Be like, all right, bud, what do you want to give up? And he knows he needs to make a trade. So he'll go around, he'll take his time, he'll walk around. It's the cutest thing watching him, his brain think, and he walks around and around and tries to figure out a toy. And he'll grab one and he'll bring it to me. And we'll make that trade. We'll go bring it down to the basement and we'll grab the hockey net, bring it up. And this goes on and on. We could do this as often as you'd like. And it's great. It teaches them how to share, because just because they're not playing with a toy, I feel it's natural human instinct to still claim ownership over that toy. So even if, again, that fire truck from earlier, it's not being used, well, if you try to implement this and your child's like, no, don't take that, or if they're not talking yet and they get really possessive over it and they do not want to give it up, then the further we go along with implementing this new strategy, you will find and you will see that their sharing skills will improve. Okay. They'll be okay with giving up a toy in return for receiving a new one. And, I mentioned negotiating too. There's been some times where my son he wanted to give up, he wanted a bigger toy. Okay. So I had mentioned earlier a basketball hoop. He wanted a toy basketball hoop. And I was like, hey man, we could bring that up, but you already have a decent amount. Maybe we were pushing 12 or so upstairs. I was like, you might need to get rid of another one or two. So I'll get you the basketball hoop. You got to find me 2 toys. So of course he goes and he finds the 2 smallest toys, and I accepted. We made that trade. I thought that was that was fair. Him wanting and being okay to give up 2 toys to receive 1. So that was pretty cool. But I highly recommend, if you find your toy room cluttered, try to implement the strategy of recycling toys. It may be difficult at first to start because at some point you're going to have to take a bunch of toys away, right? You're going to have to go put them in storage, put them in the basement. But I promise that after some time goes on, you will see your kids playing with the toys that are upstairs or downstairs or wherever your playroom is. They will be playing with those toys more. They will have a deeper connection with those toys, and they will over time be more willing and okay with giving them up and sharing in return for a new toy. And that brings to the last thing of just kind of like the overconsumption, right? My wife and I were huge. We're not minimalists by any sense of the word. We like to think we are, and we try. It's difficult in today's world, right? But toys are one area where we think we can really cut back on consumption. And look, you're going to naturally get toys from gifts and family and Christmas and birthdays, holidays, whatever it may be. If we can find a way to recycle those toys in terms of bringing out and giving your kids new toys over a period of time, it's a huge win for everyone. It's a huge win for you. It's a huge win for your kids. It's a huge win for the environment. It's just great all around. And it's a huge win for your house because your house is not cluttered and you're not stepping on Matchbox cars, hockey pucks, or Legos at 10 p.m. at night when you're trying to go to bed. So, huge win for everyone. But hope you had some good takeaways here today. Again, highly recommend implementing the strategy. Worked really well for us. I know and I'm confident that even if you are the complete opposite of what I'm talking about, like you do have that super cluttered, super messy toy room, you can implement this today and your kids will thank you for it. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.